Okay, I know I'm doing quite a few videos today, but there's tons of questions going around about the new. Well, Wizards would tell you it's not a new land type. The Wastes lands. Okay, and I think the best. I wish they wouldn't have called them wastes because there's already a wasteland, and that's going to be kind of cumbersome. But whatever. I think the best way to think about it, the way I'm thinking about it, is simply that it's a distinction between generic and true colorless land. So if you have a spell that, for example, like Soul Ring, you could cast it with any color mana. However, now it produces specifically colorless mana. The symbol was the same in both cases, but they meant different things, right? So you didn't need colorless mana to cast Soul Ring, but it produces colorless mana. So there is some confusion there. Wizard says the reason they did it was to help clarify things for new players. I doubt that as being the main reason anyway, because, I mean, honestly, how many people was this really confusing? Most new players aren't starting the game with needing a distinction between different types of colorless mana. However, we have a new basic land type, meaning for those of you who want to play colorless commander, now you have a basic land type. It will be in Oath of the Gatewatch. I'm kind of dumping what I know. I took some notes. So it will be an Oath of the Gatewatch fat packs as well. We don't know if it's going to be like 20 of them, just like everything else. I can imagine foil versions of Wastes will be highly sought after by EDH players. There will be foil versions. In fact, there are two different arts, and they will be at the common slot. So they will not take the place of your basic land in a pack. A couple of distinctions, however. So if you're playing EDH or playing Constructed or whatever, you can have as many of these as you want in your deck. If you're going to be a pre-release for Oath of the Gatewatch, you're going to need some of these lands. You can't just go to a land box and get Wastes. It won't work like that. If you're drafting and you happen to draft Kozilek, who I'm sure there will be more cards that require specifically colorless mana in the set, you will need to draft these. I don't know how you will prioritize them. I don't know. At the common slot, you would think they'd be in. You'd have 2 or 3 chances at them in any one draft. So reasonable. It won't be like. I mean, I guess Evolving Wilds is kind of hard to get even in the current draft format. So then if you have to then prioritize Wastes, I guess you can use Evolving Wilds, which is nice. But these are things that you're going to need to think about from Limited. While I keep data dumping here, I'm going to switch to the other art, both representing different decimations by various Eldrazi, Kozilek and Karn, I believe. Hopefully, I'm not wrong about that. Now, once you have these two different arts, sorry for the stutter there. I just wanted to make sure I'm getting all of my notes. So, again, if you think about it simply as a distinction between colorless and generic, I think it becomes simpler to understand. They were spoiled during the Magic World Cup this weekend, but we've known about these since something like November or something like that. And I don't know, they make a nice little difference for EDH Commander players. There will be a nicety in Draft Unlimited. I don't know the full set, even though many of the cards have been spoiled, so I don't know how important they're going to be. But if you're going to draft a card like this, Kozilek, you can see now 8 generic mana, 2 colorless mana. That's simply what they're saying, right? So you can use any 8 mana you want including colorless, but you must have 2 colorless mana. So there, I should note also that there are many other lands that produce colorless mana, even in Oath of the Gatewatch. So if you don't get wastes, there are a variety of rarity utility type lands that will produce colorless mana. So Kozilek is 10. 2 of that 10 must be colorless. And then I guess I might as well talk about Kozilek. When you cast it, if you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to that difference. It has Menace. It is a 12/12. It is everything an Eldrazi should be. It also has discard a card with converted mana cost of X, counter target spell with converted mana cost of X. That seems less helpful because you'd have to match perfectly. It's still a 12/12 with Menace for 10. If you get lucky, you can 1-for-1 spells, but again, it doesn't seem that great. How does this affect older cards? Well, I found an image floating around, to give you an example of how this would function practically. So Sol Ring can still be cast with 1 of any color, and before it just casts, you can add 2 colorless, right? This is how we've always played it. It is only that now it produced specifically colorless mana to create a distinction between the generic mana here in the top and what it actually produces. So, practically, I'm not sure how much of a difference this is going to make to Constructed. Certainly, EDH Commander will be EDH Commander colorless decks will be much easier to build, so I think they'll like that. Limited and Draft, I think it'll be a novelty. I don't know anything about Standard. There's not enough colorless cards being played in Standard. I mean, what it's going to come down to is if, cards like Kozilek get played in Standard or not, right? I mean, you're not going to see wastes for any other purpose than if they're required, at least in Standard, as far as I can think. That it's not a fact, but being a basic land type, I guess you could play some if you wanted. There are some synergies out there that people might want to take advantage of. But, overall, I think it's much ado about nothing. I think anytime you change something that we all kind of accept as fact, or this is the way we've always done it, there's going to be initial like, whoa, 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 whoa. But really, it's, the distinction is there now. The cards, all old cards, have this change now that is just... So if they reprint Sol Ring, I'm sure it'll look like tap and get 2 colorless mana symbols. But I hope this just kind of helps answer what's going on with this new basic land type. Again, Wizards will tell you it's not really new, but I think they're just trying to quell people from freaking out. It's really not that big of a deal, but it is cool. It is another layer. I don't think it's going to be like snow-covered lands. I think it's something that they'll go back to, and maybe... clearly anytime colorless mana is required, I'm not sure we're going to see it in anything but Eldrazi. And given we're about done, hopefully, with Eldrazi for a while, we may not see it for a while. But nonetheless, the lands are beautiful. Foil versions of these lands will be very, very, very beautiful. I'm guessing that they may go for as much as some of the more poopy expeditions. But who knows? Again, this is what we know, and I think this should help answer some of the questions you might have about this new basic land type. How do you guys feel about it? How many of you out there play EDH? Are you already pre-building your colorless commander deck because now life gets a little more simple? Or are you just like, who cares? I'm curious to see I'm going to keep doing these spoiler videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. I know it's a lot coming out in one day, but I want to cover everything I can because I know you guys have a lot of questions and not everyone can just sit and read Reddit and Twitter and Facebook all day. So I hope you guys are enjoying these. We'll talk to you again real soon. Might be really, really soon. What's up, and thanks for watching this video. I produce all different kinds of content, so if you haven't yet, click on my face to subscribe. If you want to watch more videos, I've got some sweet playlists, including this one, where I open up every fat pack ever created. I've also got this one over here where I open just about anything vintage and old and expensive for your enjoyment. And all this is made possible by the awesome backers at our Patreon, which is linked in the description of every video. Hop on over there, check it out, see if it's something you might want to consider. If not, sit back, enjoy, and I'll still love you.